For years, people have had their chance to tell their side of the story. And now it's my turn. And now that everybody's on the record telling their side of the story, somebody needs to be able to connect all the dots with all that evidence that is the irrefutable statement of what actually transpired between me and the McMahons while I had my career in the WWF.
Welcome to the next century of wrestling news, commentary, and entertainment, presenting the truth to expose the lies and show you the full context of wrestling, because there's two sides for many of these situations. Each episode of the Ultimate Responses series features content you won't hear anywhere else. So thank you for listening. Warrior was part of an exciting era and made a powerful connection with fans of wrestling everywhere. A connection that continues to grow. The WWE chose to betray and insult those fans by releasing their DVD full of lies and attacks on Warrior both professionally and personally. And in the years since Warrior's passing, the internet has been wrongly used to continue the attacks. So it's time to present the response. Warrior wrote the response to the DVD for his blog, which we are about to play for you, as we were able to replicate his voice using AI effects, and then apply it to the text so that we can now hear it from him. It's his words. It's his voice. It's the Warrior response.
Once again, Vince, in a furious, visionless moment, you loaded, locked, and fired all at once instead of considering what would be the consequences of shooting off so recklessly. I tried to tell you Ultimate Warrior is bigger than our dislike for one another. You should have just let him be what he was. Oh, he still will be. His fans won't have it any other way. You are, of course, finding this out for yourself right now. Vince McMahon is bitter and wants revenge. Not because I self-destructed, but because I've succeeded on my own terms outside his own insular world. I worked for the WWF on 3 separate occasions, and you fired me only once, and that was in '92, using David Boy and I as scapegoats in an attempt to throw the feds off your own scandal-brewing steroid trail. And every time I left, you'd track me down and come begging to bring me back. Never once did I call you or anybody else from the WWF to come back. You always came to me. Even one time sending Ed Cohen to hunt me down in the backwoods of NM at 4:30 a.m. This was after you suspended me in '91. When you found me, you would always show up with 2 things. 1, your stupid, superficial question, don't you miss the celebrity and limelight? And 2, a goodie bag, carrying a fat check to assuage your guilt and fault for letting me get out the door to begin with. You were a spoiled little kid even back then. Your memory isn't too good, Vince, but over 30,000 documents, yes, 30,000, from the litigation discovery help tell the true story. How about even your deposition tapes, Vince? Right now there's a shoot video, and Linda's, and Doug Sage's, and Pat Patterson's, and Brucey Pritchard's, and a dozen or so others. How about in '98? Considering that now you hold all these ridiculous fantasies that you always couldn't wait to fire me, when you sent me a middle-of-the-night fax offering me alone more money than nearly all the rest of the roster, sent to me in the middle of our lawsuit and just before I went to WCW, no less. You don't remember? The document does, Vince. After every single last cent is squeezed out of every cheap-ass piece of merchandise fans don't really need, you'd go to work like a surgeon who performs extreme makeover jobs. But instead of improving, you destroy. But it's not enough for you to destroy just the character of the persona. You have to destroy the character of the person, the man, the human being. Isn't this true, Vince? A talent owes you that much because, after all, you made their life. You and you alone gave them their identity, their ability to exist. They'd have nothing and be nothing if it wasn't for you. Right, Vince? Sadly, Vince, the real Hall of Fame for you is not about WWE providing a home of respectful memory for the personas who worked there. It is a sick trophy case for you to show off the personal characters you destroy and the people you own.
Warrior continues to reply with these podcast comments.
I mean, to take the DVD, the self-destruction DVD that WWE decided to produce, Throughout the entire DVD, they do not provide one piece of evidence, not one bit of evidence that all of us would commonly say that's an example of self-destructive behavior by a person, by a human being that we can look at and say that person is behaving self-destructively in their life. There's no record of any criminal activity. There's no record of any abusive activity in either my personal or professional life. Was no record of any drug rehabilitation. And most simply, there was no record of any falling down on my responsibilities that I need to fulfill as a man, father, and husband. None of it. By the end of it, you got to go. Any common sense person, of course not the Kool-Aid drinkers, you got to say, all right, this man decided to go on with his life and do something other than be a pro wrestler in sports entertainment. That's what makes him self-destructive? I mean, that's a hard case to make. Others have self-destructed. I haven't in any way. Not from a practical perspective, as a man, husband, and father who has those responsibilities he needs to fulfill, and certainly not from a principled perspective, the thing that pisses people off most, and having the courage and confidence to stand up and fight with what I know is right when I've been wronged.
That response was only the tip of the iceberg, because Warrior returns next episode to expose another lie, and we continue to bring you the full context to set the record straight for the Warrior fans who have been waiting for it. But for you haters, this show represents the end of the line for you, because you've been spreading your lies all over the internet to try to mislead people. Well, those days are over. From now on, we will be there to counter your lies with huge doses of ultimate reality every time. So consider this fair warning. We've got your number. We're coming to get you, and we want Warrior fans to know you're not alone. We have so much more new Warrior content to share with you, so please make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you know exactly when the next episode is released. And if you have any questions or comments for us, we want to hear from you. So feel free to email us, nextcenturywrestling@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. We are always here to entertain you. We are Next Century Wrestling.